Hi, everyone. This is Michael Silvers. It's amazing when you do this because you learn so much about everything that you're doing. I am head of training at a Power Team. And what's amazing about that is the people that I get to meet, the people that I get to work with. I just got off the phone with another producer out of Hollywood. Very interesting conversation. And it's one of those things where you really learn a lot. Tonight, I want you to hear from the master himself, Bill Walsh. I want you to really learn. It's a program he did, and I think it's important that you listen to it. It's important that it's able to sort of carry you to that next level and really drive yourself and to see, how that is for your own learning. So, without any further ado, and next week we're going to have a VIP panel. And on the VIP panel, I actually do have a Hollywood producer coming on, so that's very cool. Hey, how you doing? So, Guillermo, welcome on. I was just letting everybody know that next week for the panelists tonight not feeling so well. So I'm going to play a presentation Bill did. I think it's really important for you to hear. It's one of the best I've ever heard. I want you guys to pick it apart. I want you to, what are you learning from it? How do you learn to present, and how does that really drive you to that next level? I think that's critical. No, and I'll still be live watching questions, and I can take and answer any questions. If you like what we do, because we have 300 events a year at Power Team, we run 10 hours of virtual. We have a huge summit coming up on Thursday. So let me actually see if I can bring that up really quick. This is typing at the same time. There we go. I'm going to put this in the box. You should all be there. Um, this is a life changer Thursday. It's going to be amazing. Let me tell you about my guest next week too, just to let everybody know. Copy. Here we go. Okay, I'm going to put this in. So again, everybody, if you could register for it, that would be fantastic. I think you'll really enjoy the day. We have amazing guests coming on and other people that you might know. But next week, my VIP guest Monday night are pretty amazing. One was Tony Robbins' vice president for 17 years, and another one has one of the longest running shows in Hollywood. So you'll want to be on next Monday night at 6 p.m. Tell everybody you know. It's going to be an amazing event. So I'm going to go ahead and load up this. I want you to listen to it. Think of all the things that you're learning from it, how important it is, the difference that it makes. And I'll be here for any live comments, and you guys are just amazing. So I'm going to share it. And there we go. I'm going to start it. And you guys have a great call. I'll be on during the call and then talk to you all at the end. Hi, everyone. Lost a bit of the stream there. So we have a big, so I jumped on another computer and got it all working. You've got to watch this video. It's just amazing. So here we go. I'm going to get it going in just a second. You do whatever it takes to make it happen. That's what I say. Share the audio, Chrome tab. That's the one. Share. All right, everybody. My name is Michael Silvers. I am Executive Vice President with Power Team, Head of Global Training outside in my outdoor studio. So excited today to have the gentleman I'm about to bring on. He is CEO of Power Team. He created, he'll go through the organization, but I knew him for about 8 years. We've been putting him on stages. We had thousands of our clients go through. We kept getting these amazing reports back saying, it's taken my business to the next level. I know financially what I'm doing. I know the goals. I've got people enrolled. He's traveled and toured all around the world on the major stages. He's built turnarounds for 10 years. He's got businesses pretty much all over the planet. Without any further ado, and you're going to watch this video in a second, let's give a big, huge, thunderous round of applause for Mr. Bill Walsh.
Born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, former trader, real estate investor, and startup expert turned venture capitalist and global success coach. He has personally mentored and worked with some of the sharpest entrepreneurs and companies in the world, including Brian Tracy, Mark Victor Hansen, Robert Allen, Les Brown, Vic Conant, and billion-dollar firms like the MGM Resort Properties in Las Vegas, Nevada, and the billion-dollar powerhouse Lottomatic. He has helped take companies from zero to over $500 million, some public, some private, and everything in between. He is the host of the nationally syndicated radio show, The Rainmaker Show, and has been featured in a number of personal development movies, including Pass It On and Embrace the Journey. He loves to work with entrepreneurs and small business owners. One of the students' projects hit the top 1,000 websites in the world in less than 12 months, with over 300,000 customers and revenues of just over $2 million per month. How many people would like to learn the secrets of that success story? He has just completed his new book, The Spirit of a Rainmaker, which is certain to be a bestseller. He travels relentlessly, speaking to small and large groups, and shares specifically what it takes to build a successful company. His company, Power Team International, sponsors and hosts more than 100 events per year, including the Small Business Expos and super conferences that have included superstars like T. Harv Eker, Bob Proctor, and even former President Bill Clinton. His passion is to guide individuals, entrepreneurs, and companies to achieve their dreams. He is one of the most connected guys on the planet. He has a billion-dollar Rolodex and has been interviewed on major networks like NBC, ABC, and Fox. He's the creator of the Rainmaker Summit Business Success Program, which has helped entrepreneurs worldwide find their passion, become laser-focused, and build their ultimate 2-year success plans. How many people here today can use a comprehensive 2-year success plan? He is currently ranked in the top 25 speakers in the area of motivation and inspiration. He's the CEO founder of one of the top venture capital business coaching firms in the world, Power Team International. Get ready for some amazing content on how to succeed in business, connect with millionaires, and discover the secrets to quantum success. He will share with you specifically what it takes to create massive success in today's global business marketplace. Everybody, stand to your feet and welcome our guest speaker, Mr. Bill Walsh.
So we've got a lot to cover today, but I just really want to talk about the potential of what you can do to get these things going. And Michael, before we do that, I would like you just take one moment, if you wouldn't mind. Michael, just take one moment and share with the group how important it is that we really need to step into what's called the future of technology. I'm gonna let you just take 1 minute and share that before I jump on.
Yeah, what's really important is, if you take a look at everything that's happened, the greatest part about what we do is, we have 300 events a year. And so what we did is when we were back in Miami back in March, we saw what was coming to the world. And we realized that we already had an online presence, but we shifted into the virtual world. So now we have over 10 hours a week of virtual content that comes, to our audience. We also already had our first live event where we actually had the whole virtual component too. And the important part about that is that no matter where your business is, whether you're a speaker, a coach, a trainer, you own a brick and mortar, is that you have that virtual side. So if people for some reason don't want to step in at the moment, or you need to shift a little bit, you're always ready to go. And that's, excuse me, that's a critical piece. and I know some of you on here, but for most of you, are you in the speaking, coaching, training world? If you are, just go ahead and raise your hand. You can do that. If you own a traditional business speaking business, or if you own a traditional brick and mortar, raise your hand. And if you're there, you go. Okay, great. And so you always want to be prepared for what's coming. Does that make sense? So we've taken everything from, to dentists, to lawyers, to doctors, to entrepreneurs, and moved them into that world. And that's really critical. And it makes a big difference.
Michael, thanks, Michael. I just wanted to have you jump on for a second. So one of the things that I figured out through all of this is that if you're going to build a business, everything starts with a decision. And I can tell you that my background's pretty simple. Out of high school and college, a trader. I did turnarounds for 10 years, just fixing companies, taking them public, closing them. I took a couple of years off. I teamed up with a young company called GoDaddy as a marketing partner, another company called Franklin Covey. We launched a business in a box called Successfolio, began to sell it around the world. Certainly was short money when it started, but I had good partners. And I'll tell you a few golden nuggets today. Number one is invest in great partnerships. By 2005, we launched an incubator course called Rainmaker, by far the most intense program you'll ever take if you want to launch, grow, and build a better business. We focus on vision, mission, path, purpose, plan, social funnels, media funnels, sales funnels, loyalty programs, how to get yourself organized, how to take action every day, how to build those $1 million habits. And now what we've done is we've launched something new called Rainmaker Elite. And we've bundled inside of that our one-day speaker program, our automated marketing software for your business that you can run all your Zooms on, you can do all your text message, all your opt-ins, all your gifts. It can run your sales funnel. In addition to that, we give them tickets to our big Ultimate Wealth Comp in Vegas this year. I think it's going to be at the MGM Grand in December, of course. We also added on top of that some other really amazing stuff where literally for the first time ever, you can build your own mobile pages in minutes. For the first time ever, you can have tools and systems do a lot of the work for you that maybe you're looking at doing this stuff, you don't have to pay $5,000 for this and $10,000 for that and $5,000 for this. Well, now we've made it where inside of our lead program, we're going to show you how to set a couple of these things up so that within 48 to 72 hours, you have an automated lead gen system that you can begin to run ads to, you can begin to talk about, get opt-ins, set up your coaching calls, set up your groups, as well as for the first time getting your own digital business card globally that can let you build global groups. You can text message global for free, which is almost unheard of. And we're putting all this inside of one bundle called Rainmaker Elite. And we have room for about 10 people this month to work with. I can tell you right up front, it's $1,000 a month for 6 months or one easy payment of $5K. So it's very affordable to get all these tools and all the training. So you get access to the Rainmaker live and digital, access to our one-day speaker camp live and digital that's going to help you with getting paid gigs. Because I figured out that bundling is the future, and I think that a lot of people need a lot of these different services right now. And well, I'll tell you what, if you don't auto-correct of where things are at and move to some of these different tools, it's really hard to play in what I call the new economy of business. And there's no doubt it's a new economy. And so if that's something that resonates with you, I know we have some chat boxes up. I think there's a chat box up somewhere. If what I'm talking about resonates with you, just put a 1 inside your text box there. Please insert a 1 if you know you need help with all of these areas. We're going to make this very interactive today. So Teresa, yes, for sure. I see that. Anybody else need help with getting all their systems automated, all their opt-in systems done, all their follow-up sequencing, making sure they don't miss any of these things? I see a couple more that are putting, if you know you might need some help with this stuff, just put a number 1 over there. If you have it all down and your social media is perfect and you've got a mobile text opt-in system and global things, Stephanie, yes, for sure. Linda, for sure. Thanks for plugging in. As I go through this, I just want to get more feedback, and we're going to even take some questions on some of this so that not only is this interactive, but it's also something you can use right away. So I want to start out by showing you something that when we finished Rainmaker, we launched a venture fund, we launched masterminds, we then launched speaker programs, we became the main sponsor for the expos, we launched super high-end platinum speaker course for those who want to speak and sell from stage. We then launched internet marketing courses, book writing courses, one-day speaker mastery classes, one-day small business workshops. And then we invested even bigger in small business by opening up success centers. We now have them in Beverly Hills and Vegas, and now a new one in Schaumburg, Illinois, all designed as incubator centers to help entrepreneurs grow their businesses. And I highly recommend, if you need meeting space or you're trying to do events, we love to facilitate entrepreneurs and some of our people that are part of our groups at crazy price compared to what you'd pay at a hotel. But I'll tell you that the secret of all this is, and I want you to write down this one word, is building what's called a community. And if there's one secret sauce to building the business, thanks, Christy. If there's one secret sauce to building the business, it's all about the community right now. So I want you to begin to think that through as I talk about some of these ideas and concepts, that if you could have all this and have a system to run this for, do you think you might be a little more optimized? And I want to show you exactly how this works. So let me just show you something real quick. And this will actually work while we're on the call, so you can actually see that everyone here today needs to have what's called a mobile opt-in system. Everyone here needs to create some sort of gift they can give away that gets people to opt in, where now they're on a mobile list for you forever. We're experiencing about a 90% open rate using this tool, and now you'll all have access to this tool as part of this elite program. But if you just go down and I'm going to share the screen here for a second, you'll be able to see this, what I'm talking about in a second here, and definitely take advantage of this. But if you could just actually take out your cell phones real quick, and I've got a great gift for you. If you'll just text in the word obvious to 26786, you'll get a copy of my book. You'll get all this other cool stuff instantly. But this is definitely a great way. If you're thinking about getting your message out there, one of the first things I would do is tell them, get a book cover done. You can go to a website called Killer Covers, get a book cover done. But what I'm showing you is how an automated opt-in system starts to work. So if you've opted in before, great, you understand. If you've never opted in, just put an opt-in in there. You'll get a copy of my book in a few minutes. But I'm thinking about, as you go through this, how cool it would be to have a system like this that you could use for all your marketing. How cool to be able to actually have this within seconds built, within 72 hours, an opt-in sequencing system that would give out the data right away to your potential customers, give out the links you might need, and then move them down that path. How many here today would like to have an automated mobile opt-in system that you could use for all of your marketing? If that's you, just put a 1 in there. Again, do me a favor, put a 1. If you know for a fact that you would love to have an automated system via text message opt-in that could then send out autoresponders for a whole year, if you could imagine that, right? So Christy, for sure. Thank you, Christy. Linda, thank you for sure. And even the participants, anybody can, Michelle, you can participate too. I mean, all these guys participate here, right? Teresa, if these are things you need, because I'm only telling you from experience that over 5 years, we've built a database that now is just over, about 150,000 just via text messaging, right? So we're starting to use text messaging as a primary source of marketing, no longer a secondary or third, because we find that the interaction via text is much higher than the interaction via email. And I'm sure, as you can imagine, a lot of times people will send this stuff out. They send out emails, but the problem with most emails that many times today, nobody's actually opening this stuff, right? They're getting bombarded with emails now more than ever, but I will tell you that they are opening their text messaging. And so when I look at building a business, what are some things you've got to do? And we're going to kind of dive into some of this, because I have found that if you can put these pieces of the puzzle in place, and I'm going to kind of go through what a few of these pieces are in a moment here, but I want you to understand that if you have these pieces of the puzzle in place, you're going to move a lot faster. But it all starts with something that Jobs talked about, and I want you to really think about today, is that where's your vision at, right? People laughed at him. He was fired by his own company. Dumb, stupid, never going to make it. He got basically kicked out by his own board. And they brought a guy in from Pepsi to run the business that didn't understand the Apple community, the Apple culture, none of this, right? And they pretty much ran the business into the ground. And when he came back and he said, here's the vision, is where we're going, right? And it was not to make a great phone. It was not to make a great computer, right? It was to change the world, to make the world a better place through their systems and programs and products and services. And there's no doubt that he did that, right? But today, if we're listening as a group, we need to work on, where do you see yourself in 5 years from today? Where would you love to see your business? What would it look like, right? When I think about this, I always want you to think about, write down your niche, whatever your niche is, right? Whatever the niche is, write down the niche. And what are you great at? And then figure out, how many years does it take to get to the top 10? I need you to visualize yourself today in the top 10 of your niche, whatever your niche is. And it's my job to help you not only see it, but seize it, right? It's our job as a team to help you understand what are the tools and systems and programs and products, all things required to help you get so far outside your comfort zone that your vision is so big that it pulls you to your biggest goals. And that only is possible when you start to realize just how good your story is, when just how big your message is, when you stop letting other people dictate your success. Because so often this happens for a lot of people that we get to a part in our life where we start to listen to the noise. And starting today, if the vision's big enough, the noise is not there anymore. It's funny, when you raise above the trees, you can see things clearly, right? When you raise above the noise, you can hear things clearly. But if you stay in the body of the noise, all you'll ever hear is the noise. And it's so important that today that you begin to realize that your message is so good that you cannot allow negative people to drag it down. And so when we start to think about, right, how do we get to this level and what does it look like? Well, one of the big things, and I want you to write this down, is become an expert. You really have to look at the 4 quadrants here, just draw them on your page. We'll go through them, but you really have to think about that. What does it look like to become the expert? And how many that are listening today are already a subject matter expert? If you're on today, just put a number 1 if you're already a subject matter expert, which means you're already really good at what you do. Help me sort 5-year plan. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yeah, so think about this. If you already are okay, good. So let's take it one step further now. So for Teresa and Christy, if you guys could do me a favor, type in what you're great at. I am great at this, right? Whatever this is, this is really important. And whoever else is on here, maybe you're just starting out, you're brand new, and that's okay, right? You can always list that here's the space I'd like to own, right? Because what you're going to find is that the top 10 from any niche will outproduce the other 90% combined. And I'm looking today for the top 10 percenters. I'm looking for the leaders today that say, Bill, I can certainly afford $1,000 a month to really elevate my business. I'd love to automate all these things. I'd love to have my own automated Zoom account with I can host 500 people on my webinar. I'd like to have an automated, opt-in system for all of my text message opt-in, real estate, creative real estate financing, excellent, right? I'd love to know how to build a better business plan, get capital, get teams in place, get better systems. I'd like to understand how to build the right social media funnels, sales funnels, loyalty programs. Most entrepreneurs don't even have a loyalty program. We give you one. Our partners, Wyndham Hotels, you get access to it. But these are the things, once again, that when we look at a business and we look at an entrepreneur and we look at someone that says, Bill, I've got these big, amazing goals and dreams, the question is, what do you feel is missing, right? Because at the expert level, let me give you a few tips that really identify someone from someone that's really good at what they do to someone that is brought into the marketplace about just how great they are. And this is a difference, right? Because your brand, believe it or not, your story becomes your message that could be even bigger than you. But it has to start with you today making a decision that says, you know what, I'm ready to play at a much bigger level. I know I've got so much more in the tank, and I can't allow people, and I know you see this, you probably see people many times with, let's say, 10% of your talent making 10 times your money. And I know that's got to piss you off, right? Whether it's going to these events and you do these things, you see this, you're like, there's no way that I can't play small anymore. Well, in the expert zone, let's look at a few things you have to do. Number 1, get a book cover done. Number 2, get yourself listed at Help a Reporter. Get yourself listed as an expert or a specialist on Help a Reporter. This will make the phone ring. Put together a good press release. Service called ereleases.com. E-releases, right? That's a good one. Don't like to write the service called Scripted. Let Scripted write this stuff for you. Another simple thing to do, once again, and this is all within 90 days, everybody. I'm talking about 90 days. Let us work with you and let our team help you with some of these things and get through the courseware and begin to implement all this stuff, right? But inside of the 90 days, you should have your own podcast set up. Go to Anchor. It's free. Spotify is surpassing Apple in so many markets, right? So many markets. The question is that, are you coachable? And I just want you to post here that if our team can help you with a great plan, the systems, the process, are you coachable enough to say, Bill, I can be coachable for the next 90 days to put all of these things in place with your help and guidance so that I can go out there and just tear the market up? See, what I find most entrepreneurs do is that they forget about focusing on what you're great at. And we try to do things we're not that great at. And then all of a sudden we get boggled down. How many here sometimes feel like you get boggled down doing things that you probably know you shouldn't be doing? If that's you, just put a 1 inside the chat box, right? Sometimes you feel like you're just too busy doing things that are really not in your wheelhouse. And then a week goes by, and then 2 weeks go by, and then a month goes by. And what happens in that month is we begin to lose. Yeah, Christy, that's hilarious. 1 for sure, right? Exclamation point. I thought you put an 11. I'm like, wow, that's pretty serious about it. But I think we do that because we feel that we don't have the budget for this stuff, we don't have the capital for it. I'm telling you today that everybody should write this down. Thanks, Linda. Write this down. ITEX, ITEX, ITEX. It's a great place to barter for stuff, trade for stuff, right? PayPal. PayPal now has a $100,000 line of credit for small businesses as long as you have some cash flow, no tax returns, right? And they approve you within a day. So maybe you don't get 100, maybe you get 20 or 25. Who cares? And you may not need that money today, but you might need it 2 months from now, 3 months from now, 4 months from now. See, an expert understands that you're running a business, not a hobby. I'm looking for those that really understand you're running a business and that you have to be able to invest in yourself. What we've done for the first time ever is put together a powerful bundle under the Rainmaker Elite tab that gives you so much inside of one bundle. I just kept asking myself, I said, what else can we put in there so that they can have more success? What else can we put in there so they get more leads, they get more sales, they get more organized, they learn to delegate more, right? One of the big things we found is that as the expert, it's your job to take ownership of the capital, the team, the systems, the programs, who you're going to bring in. You know, well, how do I find a team? But I get this all the time. Here's how you find a team. You become so good, you attract the right team. That's a difference in mindset. We're out there trying to find the right team. Don't try to find the right team, attract the right team. And these are the things that I have so much more in the expert category, but I want to give you a few things we would touch on. But there's no doubt as part of this elite program, you're going to do a deep dive into some of these things. We'll spend an hour on vision, an hour on mission, path and purpose, really understanding something called life score to make sure that, are you building perfect days? Do you really know what it looks like to assemble the right team? Do you understand how to find what's called momentum in business? And most entrepreneurs miss the whole thing about momentum because they wind up in a place called Busyville. Busy, 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 busy. And I know, like myself and probably you too, that sometimes we feel like we're busy or we're not getting the results. You see, the second piece of this equation is that, and this is once again not easy for a lot of entrepreneurs, right? Is that we have to be willing to step way outside the comfort zone and then step into something so we understand that if I look at what's next on the bigger picture, right? This is what's not so easy, is the category of empowerment. And empowerment, you're going to need to have, just write these down, the right systems, the right tools, the right processes, the right order forms. How do I even ask for the order? Learn how to close. One of the things we focus on as part of the elite program is help you close even better, right? Sometimes, Bill, if I could just close better, my stuff is so good, but I'm afraid to ask for the order. You know, we can move you through a lot of that and be able to get more exposure out there. See, the big thing, once again, is that once you're starting to be great at what you do, you got to learn to speak about it. So now we've bundled the icon into our elite program. So now you're getting a one-day course. Of course, it's recorded. Of course, you can come live, but it's going to help you understand how to communicate through media, how to have that 2-minute you on any TV station, anytime, anywhere. But more importantly, making sure that anytime that you're out there, how do you get paid gigs? How do you make sure that you're put into the marketplace the right way to drive some traffic? And in the empowerment side, I'll give you a few things you can use right away. Number one, which is so easy, is Facebook Live, right? But Facebook Live, if it's done right, it's done under your business page, your author page, right? So you always want to set up a business page as an author. And you want to get where you got the little blue check. You see, once you've got the blue check on there, right, this is where it becomes a lot more fun. You get the blue check on there, you can then use an app called Creator. So write down Creator. Creator is an app that allows you to broadcast to your much larger party network than you'll ever get with Facebook Live, but it also gives you status. And that's why, once again, set up today a business page as an author, begin to work on building your Facebook tribe through pure content, interview people. Great way to build new content. So easy to do, right? And you can get some logos done. Go to a website called Fiverr, Fiverr.com. You can do little 1 minute videos for like $10. Create good little 1 minute videos. But you should also use Instagram, everybody. Understand that IG is a great tool. It's even a better tool when you can launch IGTV. Same thing, need 10,000 followers, longer videos, longer tools. But I like an app called InShot. So please look up today, InShot, INSHOT. And I'll give you some more of this stuff. I'm just kind of giving you some highlight stuff you can use right now today. But InShot allows you to shoot those 1 minute videos. I shot a 1 minute video this weekend, almost 500 views on one video, right? Then go right back to an opt-in. You can even put the text opt-in inside. InShot will let you add the opt-in inside the video. And sometimes you can add the video after it starts to get some plays. Then you can reload the video and put it right back up there. Same thing. It's just another great way to do it. But that has to go back to your text message opt-in system. Are you starting to see how all these things kind of work together? And that's the challenge for most entrepreneurs. They've got a lot of cool systems, but none of them communicate to each other. I recommend you get a newsletter set up like Constant Contact or MailChimp or Aweber, right? Get something that keeps them in a monthly loop, right? So now you've got the opt-in through the text message. It goes right to your emails because you can even send out, if you have a code for your email, you can take the code, drop it into your text message. So if somebody missed your email, then you can send them a text message. Imagine how powerful that is, that, hey, I see you missed our email. Here's another link to it. Because the more informed your customer becomes with great content, the better buyers they become. The better, like, whatever you're doing, it's working, so I want to plug into that. Because what I find is that success is always going to breed more success. So you got to be thinking today, how can I bring more success to my clients? Please write that down. How can I bring even more success to my clients? Well, if your clients have more leads and they can close better and they get more exposure, pretty good chance they're going to what? They'll have some more sales. So on the empowerment side, I always recommend that you continue to empower yourself. Read great books like Think and Grow Rich. Read great books like Outwitting the Devil. Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Think and Grow Rich for Women. There are so many great books that are out there that maybe you don't like books, go to Audible. Get an Audible account set up, do 1 book a week. 1 book a week will feed your mind with such great stuff. So if you don't like to read, then listen to it. I prefer to read reports. So I study what are called M&A reports about mergers and acquisitions. I like to see where the market is going. The news is always going to tell you where the market has been, but it never has an idea on where the market is going. So I like to read periodicals and talk about where the markets are going, where customer acquisition is going, which countries are good, which countries are slowing down. Because if you can tune into the macroeconomy, many times you learn about the microeconomy that most of us exist in, right? And it's important we understand that on the side of empowerment, it's your job to stay just as sharp as the clients that you're expecting. Does that make sense, everybody? So if you like the idea of staying even more tuned in, if you like the idea of having better systems and tools and processes, one of the tools we like is Zoom. Our Zoom package gives you access to be able to run webinars like 500 people. So it's an amazing package that we bundle here for you guys. And I will tell you this, that once you activate one part of our sequencing program, which is called Mobex Pro, that's our package we'll talk about, that's all the technology in one bundle. It is around $99 a month to run that. So if it takes you like a month or two to activate that, so if you don't believe you can afford $100 a month to run all your technology, I'm not sure what the answer is, but this will give you all that in one bundle, which is really an amazing, amazing value. I can tell you that we probably spend $5,000 a month easily just to keep up with our different technology platforms that we currently run. And I only say that because I want you to realize that everything I share with you is stuff that we do too. It's not like, hey, go do it, but I don't do it. We do all this stuff, right? And on the empowerment side, I really want you to think about, what does it look like to make sure that you have your sales funnel in place? From the top to the bottom, how do you bring in leads? Please write this. How do you get leads? How do you do presentations to conversions to then loyalty? So leads, presentations, conversions or customers to loyalty, to referrals, to marketing partners, to a complete life cycle. One of the big things we talk about as a rainmaker is that the faster you can move to having your life cycle running smoothly, the faster you move to recurring revenue for your business that could pay you forever. And that's what I like. We are very big right now on membership sites, getting people involved with membership sites. We used our opt-in. You should probably get a link, let you go to our Success Club for free. There's, 50 hours of content in there now. And there's always new links. But these are the things I need every entrepreneur to think about, is that how do I stay in the empowerment mode so that we can do an even better job of serving the clients? How many here believe that they could probably use some help in making sure on the empowerment side that they had all their tools and systems running even more powerfully? If you could use help with your systems and your process and your promotions, just put a number 1 there on the screen. And I love to see who needs some help with some of these things. These are a big difference, right? So Nicole, yeah, thanks, Nicole. And welcome to the stream, by the way. Anybody else needs help with their process?
Thank you.
Need help with your process, your systems? Christy, for sure, thanks, no doubt. Teresa, for sure, thank you. And I want to thank you guys for jumping on today. Stephanie, thank you. This is a pilot program we ran for this just to test it out. Linda, thank you for sure. Yeah, and we're, just so you know, we're investing every day too. It's not like I'm always on the lookout for new cool tools, right? What are the best tools we can use? Another tool I like one called Perfect Video. That's a great way for editing your videos. Super inexpensive. I think it's free still, so I would get it while it's free. But there's so many other great little tools that are out there that make it easier for entrepreneurs to win like they've never won before. But as we move through part of this, right, I want you to understand too that this next part is really just as important, because if we don't take ownership of this one little section of the story, it's hard for us to once again scale the business. And that third piece of the puzzle is called exposure. So the question is, how do I find, number 1, where does my perfect customer live? How do I identify the perfect customer? And then please write this down. This is a big one, and circle it. Who in my network is connected to my perfect customer that you can build a relationship with? Because if you'll start to understand that whoever gets the most exposures, they win. They don't win once in a while, they win all the time. Which means it's really important for you to identify in your business, right? Where does your customer live? Who do they buy from? How do they currently buy? Are they an online buyer, right? What is their demographic? Do I sell to men? Do I sell to women? What percentage are a certain age, right? These are all things, because if you don't know these things, you are literally just throwing money away and throwing your time away by not identifying the perfect customer. Then, of course, it's running test advertising. How do we use Facebook advertising? How do we use Google AdWords? How do we advertise on LinkedIn? People have no idea how to do any of this stuff. But wouldn't it be awesome if you could just spend $5 a day or $10 a day, 5 days a week, and it brought you X number of qualified leads that became presentations, that became sales, and that then, of course, became recurring customers. So I want you to think about today, how many customers in your current business do you have to serve just to make an extra $10,000? And I would love for you guys to tell me that. You got these first expert, empowerment, exposure, right? I'm going to stop the screen for a second here and come back, go back to our chat. If you guys could tell me, how many clients does it take in your current business that you have to serve to pick up an extra $10,000? I'd love to hear a few of those answers. Just put in there, how many customers does it take right now for you to currently serve to make $10,000? 2 clients, okay, good. If you could just put in there how many clients you got to serve. And if you got new, so Paul is 20, okay, good. So to make, so about $500 a client, good. So just kind of type in, think through your business, right? Because what I found is that Linda's not sure. And that's okay, Linda, that's a great answer, because that's something we can identify and work backwards and figure out, you know, who's your perfect customer? What is it you're going to sell them? What is your actual offer? And then how do we get the offer so that people can, number 1, good lead, to a qualified presentation, to acquiring a new customer. And if we could solve only that problem for most of the folks on here today, that's a massive value for them to grow their business. So Stephanie, 100 clients. So clients pay roughly $100. Do they pay you $100 over the course of the year? I don't even know what I want to do yet. Linda, the best thing is figure out, what are you great at? Here's a good question. What are you great at, Linda, that serves a lot of people and there's money in your industry? What are you great at? Serves a lot of people. And you might have 5 things you're great at, and that's okay. We'll have a follow-up call from this, right? So 33, you know, that's per massage, but currently can't do that. Yeah, so Stephanie, so you know in your business, there may be a lot more money in selling massage tools, massage products, right? There could be other, think of that. Once you have that client, right, then it's all of a sudden, so Linda is a great writer. Linda, there's so many people that are bad writers. You understand? People are doing copyright work right now, and some make up to $10,000 a sales letter. So it sounds like you have something good. We might have to talk about how to monetize that, right? And then figure out, is it, where do you want to go? Where do you want to see the business? And these are all questions, right? Some people will come to our elite program saying, Bill, I just want to get rid of the things I know I shouldn't be doing. If you could help me just get rid of all the things that aren't going to make me any money, I'd like to just jump. I'd like to get out of this, right? Because a lot of times we don't know, we think we know. And what a great coach will do is they'll identify the things in you that are truly your greatness and your passion. Because I can tell when people speak about what they do, whether or not they're ever going to make it in their industry. Because I can tell by the tone of their voice, I can tell by their inflection, I can tell by their energy, right? That, we make trains. It's like, yeah, your trains probably suck, because your negative energy is going to pull all your talent, right? But when you can really begin to put your talent in something that you have a passion for, that can serve a lot of people, and there's money in the space, all of a sudden you start to wake up. And you really start to wake up when you get paid for it. When you start getting paid for what you're great at, wow, it is an absolute eye-opener. But on the exposure side, I want to move through this a bit quickly because I want to make sure to be present for everyone's time, is that, number one, there's lots of opportunities to speak. So if you want to speak to millionaires, there's a group called Vistage. It's nothing but millionaires in local markets. If you want to speak to LaTips or Rotaries, Rotaries has 30,000 Rotaries, and they're always looking for speakers. Another group is called Club Corp. Club Corp is a national chain of country clubs and business centers. They're always looking for speakers. But I also like Eventbrite. I like Meetup. I like anything you can go online. Instant Telesales, new platform, create your 20 that builds the entire package for you. YouNow is another one that they pay you while they watch. They can watch it and pay you. Another big one most people don't realize is called Twitch. If you're not on Twitch, I'm not sure what you're waiting for. People can do broadcasts each day on Twitch for 10 or 20 minutes, and they can literally pay you. They can absolutely pay you for that. You can have people get subscribers on Twitch. So Linda, I see you're asking questions. I'll take all the questions towards the end, but if you're a great speaker, then it's just getting in front of your right audience and making sure you got the right package of your offer. And I'll tell you this, that the worst thing in life is to know you can really serve people, but you haven't been able to put the package together yet. And we can help you a lot on the packaging and some of those things. But when I look at all these opportunities for exposure, radio today, media, podcasts, this is a big one, everybody. Get yourself on people's different podcasts if the podcast is connected to your perfect customer. And if the podcast connects to your perfect customer, you just have to get yourself out of the way. We'll give you scripts exactly to have somebody use on your behalf so they can talk about getting you booked to speak at their event, right? Or get us booked on their webinar or their telesummit. There are so many new channels of distribution for content, and it's almost overwhelming. So it's really important that you tailor your message to go not just after just the masses, but begin to work on how do I communicate to my perfect customer. If you'll do that, it's going to make it a lot easier for you. So let me go back to the fourth part of this equation that I'm sure that everybody can certainly relate to when it comes to this. And this is where, if I would say, a lot of people have what are called challenges. It's always in this last zone called execution. This zone is by far one of the toughest zones for most entrepreneurs, because what they do, and I found this happen over and over. You can take a picture of that shot if you want, everybody. Take a picture real quick. But I find that most people get stuck with something called paralysis of analysis, right? Paralysis of analysis. So they keep thinking about it. I'm going to sign up for that course one of these days. I'm going to come to this live event one of these days. I'm going to start getting my text message going one of these days. I'm going to put my offer together one of these days. One of these days will probably never happen. So I recommend today is the best day ever to build something called an executable model daily, which is really nothing more, and please write this down, than building what are called $1 million habits. I find broke people have broke habits. Millionaires and billionaires have $1 million habits or $1 billion habits. And they are very different. You will find the minimum wage for a millionaire is about just over $500 an hour. Yet most of us are busy doing things that are $10 an hour at best. Look at the last 7 days of your life. Just 7 days, not 7 years, 7 days. Categorize your days and ask yourself, based on your production, would you have hired or fired yourself? And this is not it's like, yeah, now let's have some fun with this, everybody, right? If you would just do me a favor, I'd like you to put in the box this time, either hire or fire. That's all. It's hire or fire. Just put down, Bill, I got hired or I got fired. Based on the last 7 days of my productivity for my business, hire or fire, right? And that's okay. So Teresa says hire. That's great, right? Nicole says fire. Linda says fire. You know, I'm not sure what the rest of you guys are doing. Christy says fire, right? But what if there was a way that I could show you how to build perfect days where every day you were hired, where every day you felt good about your accomplishment? And I'll tell you how this starts. It's a little something called the Big Rock Theory. I call it 10 before 10. So it means tonight, just try this out. Write down the 10 most important things you have to get done by tomorrow at 10 a.m., your time zone, to make tomorrow one of your most productive days ever. And see, this is where it gets scary, because we try to make to-do lists. To-do list sounds like work, so we don't do it. But if you could write down achievement lists, write those out the night before, and we'll teach you all this. Part of our program, we teamed up with a young company called Franklin Covey. You might have heard of a guy named Stephen Covey, wrote a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, which we share that everybody should read. But more importantly, we give you access to their software. Their software allows you to begin to build out your perfect days today. Not next week, not next month, right? So daily method of operation goes through your whole day, right? 10 before 10 are the big rocks. Get the most important things done before 10 a.m. to make tomorrow one of your most productive days ever. And there's a big difference in that. And these are many times not things you're doing, everybody. These are things you might have delegated. It's important you understand that in life and in business, it's not always what you do, many times what have you delegated. But if you don't start with a program for that, it gets really hard to get the results. And I recommend that if you're starting out today, how do I get better results every day? So just think about this, right? How many here on the line today, just put a 1, could use some help with getting organized and being even more accountable? If that's you, just drop a 1 there. Becoming even more accountable, 12, I like that. 1, Michelle 1, yeah, good. Linda 1, Stephanie 1, Teresa 1. So almost across the board, when I interview entrepreneurs, they say, Bill, if you could just help me with daily method of operation and execution, I'll pay you whatever I want. Because what happens, I'll pay you whatever you want. Many times people are busy and they wind up in that circle. And you probably know the circle I'm talking about, right? It's a circle like the little mouse on the wheel. And now more than ever, you know, when I first started with all these changes in business and life in the last 65, 75 days, it was not so easy to go back into the mode where every day, what do you do? And I fell in the mode of watching some TV series. Well, what a mistake that was, right? So I know what it's like to do the wrong things, right? But then I realized that if I could just build even better days and start my days earlier, all of a sudden, before you know it, I got into a groove. And we'll teach you as part of Rainmaker, part of this elite system, how to build a groove that's so good, how to have an accountability partner, you know, how to have a big group, have access to a big group, you can ask questions every day. Literally every day, wake up and I need help with this or help with that. And now there's a team there to help with you, right? Because if you're going to try to do all this stuff by yourself, it's really tough to make it. I teach so often that if you want to go fast, go by yourself. But if you want to go far, go with a great team. We're inviting you to be a part of a great team today, right? We're going to see if it's a great fit. If it is, we'll jump on a phone and get you all set up in the system. But I will tell you this, it's not easy, but it's very possible. And that conversation will be with me direct, right? So I'll have a quick call with you after this call is over. We'll spend 5 minutes. If it's a great fit, we'll get you guys all set up in the system, get you going, help you understand the entire process for this. But make no mistake about it that if you're going to really do this, these 4 quadrants are super important, everybody. You know, get positioned as the expert. Get all the tools in place, systems in place, capital in place. Learn how to get the exposure. Learn how to build an executable model that works on KPIs, key performance indicators daily. Understand the power of task management. Understand why it's so important to get someone to help you with some of these things. And then, of course, one of the driving forces behind all of this is to build a great why. I can tell you that I've shared the stage with multiple presidents, with incredible top entrepreneurs, but above all that, the most important thing for me is my kids, right? So you can talk about all these people you met and all the work we've done. That's all great, and the deals we've done, but nothing even comes close to the quality time with my kids. So you'll see my kids up on top there, Austin and Marissa and Evan. But it's important for you to really own your why. If the why is big enough, it'll make you cry. If the why is not big enough, you'll never achieve your big goals, right? But when the why is big enough, everything moves out of the way. So I need you to really take a moment today and write down, why is it important for you to be an entrepreneur? Why is it important to bring your message out to the marketplace? Why are you so committed to serving other people? You see, because when we put this entire package together, the idea was, let's look at all the results they could get, right? If we could help them build a better business plan, build better systems, have better teams, make more money, generate more leads, be organized every day, have an executable model that, they live by, because everyone's execution model is different. Everyone's story is different. How you build it is all different. How to get access to the right people, the right events, the right groups, right? We started to figure out that if you're around the right people, right, if you're on the right events, the right people show up, and that happens consistently. So we challenge you to get outside the comfort zone. So the other results, of course, is that just think about this. How many here on a scale of 1 to 10 would like to have better systems in place? Automated marketing, automated funnels, having your opt-ins working, having your websites working, your mobile websites working. Most don't even have a mobile website. How would you like to build your mobile website today? Today with an opt-in system that you can run ads to right off a text opt-in that brings you leads today for your perfect customer. You see, what I find is that the paralysis of analysis kills most dreams. I can't afford this. If you can't afford $1,000 a month for 6 months, then some fees for some of the different tools you use, is it really a business or is it a hobby? I'm going to challenge you today to let's get these businesses going. I'm going to spend 5 minutes with each person that's on this and in a private setting and figure out, is there ways we can work together? Is there ways we can set up joint ventures together? Is there ways you could market some of your stuff to some of our databases? Could you help us market, right? Because success today is not just about the win, it's about the win-win-win. You win, the customer wins, everybody wins, right? You win, the customer wins, everybody wins. And what is it like to build all that, right? So when we put this all together, I started to realize that if you could make that why that big, then all of a sudden, all the challenges you're facing, they get out of the way. All the things you think aren't going to work, they get out of the way. And I need you to think that way every day going forward. I need you to think, Nicole and 630, I see you on a couple times, and Paul, I need you guys really to think about, that if the why was big enough, how awesome would it be that all of a sudden money's no longer an issue? All of a sudden finding customers becomes a walk in the park. All of a sudden serving customers with new technology, having the right, once again, people around you to build it, and then saying, listen, just get out of my way. Because what I do know is that if we're not going to focus on playing big, we're going to stay small. And there's nothing wrong with small. I just want you to profit more. Does that make sense? And there's nothing wrong with a business that does $100,000 a year. That's a great business as long as it's profitable, right? A business at 10 million a year is no good if they're not profitable, but a business at 100,000 a year is great if it's profitable. So I want you to understand the why has to be big enough, and the how will always show up. So let me just kind of switch back. I want to show you some of the different cool benefits that we bundled inside of this program. And I kind of told you, a little bit of how the entire program works, but I want to give you just some more of the details. So obviously inclusive in the program, you get to come to Rainmaker. You get to come to the live event, July, October, November, December this year. You can also do the entire course on digital now. So Rainmaker is our intensive 2.5-day program to help you launch, grow, and build a better business. And it's our 15th year. You get access to all kinds of cool tools and other benefits that are inside of there, right? But I know for a fact that if you're not going to step into the zone where to get some of the best training, the best partnerships, it's hard to do it by yourself. This is one of the newest features. Is called Mobex Pro. Now I want you to go through this and realize, just think about how cool this would be to have each of these little tools for your business. Number one, automated text campaigns. Well, we've tested now for 5 years. They work great. Mobile landing pages. I think you see people all over there selling you mobile landing pages. Why? Because they work. Instant mobile website builder Within 10 minutes, everybody, we can work together to get your mobile page up within 24 hours. I don't know how to make it easier than that, right? You can put your videos in there. You can put YouTube videos. You can put fill out a form on there. You can have just basic information. You can have it linked right to your constant contact and newsletters, all inside of one platform. Same with your lead capture system. You can even send out emergency alerts if you need to do that, right, for your customers. It does your autoresponders. When I talk about rich media integration, for the first time ever in your autoresponders, you can embed the video links all done one time that the system does for you for as long as you have customers. Email integration, so when they fill out one form, it also fills out inside your constant contact or your MailChimp. This is a big one, everybody. Just circle this one, 95% open rates. That is almost unheard of, but to have that via text is incredible. QR codes, you can put QR codes on all your clothes, all your flyers, all your brochures, all your pictures. Every picture you create from this day forward can have a QR code built into the picture. How cool is that, right? Build your own mobile digital business card. Now for the first time, once again, you have a global business card that links to all your social media, all your PDF documents, all your websites, all from one platform. It does group messaging inside the same platform. So now groups around the world, you can select them to a certain group based on a QR code and then send out information to them. Your own social media marketing suite. We give you access to a platform now for the first time, can run all your social media ads, can do all your time placements. It also gives you automated news feeds that if you were to pay for these news feeds, the same things, you're paying a lot of money for these feeds, cost you nothing. Access to your Zoom account with your private address for your own private meetings, right? These are all cool, up to 500 people on your audio or webinar. You get access to the Franklin Covey system. You can now run all your own task management programs, all from the comfort of your phone. This stuff's unheard of, everybody. Your own email broadcasting suite, as long as you get a Power Page. The Power Page is going to design to only show social media and makes it easy for someone to find all your media within seconds. These are all super cool tools, right? I mean, if you try to buy the tools by itself and have it set up, you're going to spend 20 grand by the time you're done. But now you can get the whole entire package, 6 payments of $9.99 or 1 payment of $5K, and your business is up. You're ready to run a lot of this stuff, right? So in addition to that, we're going to put you into our Icon Speaker program. We have this a couple times a year. I know the next one is for sure in Vegas. But once again, super easy to get this plugged in. You know, now for the first time, learn about setting up your own events, right? Learn about how to get booked, how to build a list, how to build a list from online as well as live stages. All the right answer. But if you keep trying to guess at some of this stuff, it's just going to cost you money. And I'd rather you save the money. So think about how important some of this stuff is. And then, of course, we got this for you guys where you'll get 20 tickets for our Vegas event coming up. You can sell the tickets, keep all the money. Tickets are around $500 a ticket. So that's an extra $10,000 in tickets. Kind of a cool gift for those that take action today. I love to reward action takers. And so when we bundled this all together, we call it our Elite Rainmaker system. And if it's something that resonates with you, you can just text the word success to 26786. You can do that right now. If you know for a fact you'd like to have a conversation about this stuff, really simple, just text the word success to 26786. We'll set up the call today. We're not going to wait. I'm also going to go back for a second to the live broadcast here, and I just want to ask something really quick. I'm going to put in the chat there is that if you really do believe that that this could help you, I'm going to ask you to just text me direct. Here's my cell number. You can text Bill direct. Please do not share this. This is only for this group. Just put it right there, right? So if you're thinking about how do I get some of this up going, or is it a fit for my business, you can just text it in there right now. Just shoot me a quick text. Say, Bill, maybe I can't afford it right now. Maybe I got some other ideas. Can we brainstorm this for a few minutes? I'll do that with you too. Because I do believe that when people tell me it's an issue of money, many times it's just an issue of customers. If you got to serve a few new customers, that a lot of times takes care of the money. But I want to make sure that everybody really understands that, yeah, thanks for Teresa. Thanks for jumping on today. You're a rock star. I'm so excited to see you on more stages. She just finished our platinum program, and she's just dynamic and help people turn their message into books and workbooks and stage presentations. Just such a dynamic superstar. But I also want to thank some of our team for being on today. So if what I'm talking about resonates with you, you can either text in that the chat box that was on the screen, or like I said, it's really simple. If you think this might be a great fit for you, I highly recommend just go right here, just complete this. Really takes only a second. Just text the word success to 26786. They'll send you all the information. This is all about taking action, everybody. So if what I've spoken about with you makes a lot of sense, text the word success to 26786. Some of our team will follow up right away. And I can't tell you this, that I've never been more excited about the potential for small business and entrepreneurs than I am today. I think we're living in one of the greatest economies ever, even with all the challenges going on, that for the first time ever, the local entrepreneur has the best chance now to play bigger than ever on this global stage.